habit is our brain repeatedly making a decision without our conscious input. So the last thing you need is a bad money habit that you don't even realize you're doing, because it can stop you from reaching your financial goals, unless your goal is to become poor. Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name's Jonathan, and in this video I want to give you 5 bad money habits that I have done in the past and that I still see people doing. Having good money habits and avoiding bad ones can have massive effects on your future financial position. Habits can compound over time, and even though they may seem small now, can quickly add up and grow exponentially. So avoiding bad money habits can be the difference between becoming poor and becoming rich. So let's get started with the first bad money habit, and it's what I like to call saving money at all costs. So this is when people who are trying to live frugally will try to save money absolutely every way they can, which there's nothing wrong with, but they will do it without thinking about the costs of saving. So these people will not think about what it'll actually cost them to save that money and the dollar worth of their time, or how much their time is worth by the hour. People who are trying to live frugally often value their dollar worth of time as very low or even zero. So for example, people will spend hours shopping around online or maybe even on the high street trying to find the cheapest price for the item they want. And after hours or possibly days of searching, they'll find the cheapest price. But in the end, they may save, let's say, £10. But if they've spent 6 hours searching for the cheapest price and their hourly value is, let's say, a low amount of £5 an hour, then times that by 6 hours and that's £30. So in the end, have they really saved anything? And would it have been more cost effective just to buy the item at a higher cost? Maybe it wouldn't. It does depend on how you value your time. But getting into the habit of keeping this value in mind can really help you in making financial decisions. When I opened my restaurant, I got into this habit of saving money at all costs. At the start, often I would buy a quite cheap, low quality piece of equipment just for its price, but it would end up breaking down after a few months, and then I would have to buy a new one anyway. But if I would have paid more up front and got a better quality equipment, then it'd probably still be working today. And in the course of time, definitely would have saved me money. When trying to save money and live frugally, it is really easy to get into this bad habit. But by thinking about the long-term costs of your decisions and how much you value your time, you can save and make more money in the long run. Bad habit number 2 is leaving your money in a normal bank account and not investing. So basically leaving your money in a normal savings account or current account. The reason this could be a bad idea is because every single day you're losing your money to inflation, and you are basically paying the bank to keep your money in their account, when you could be making your money work for you by investing. When I started to save money, I would put all of my money in a normal savings account, where the interest rate was something like 0.01%. So because of inflation, I was basically paying the bank to keep my money in that savings account. Many years ago, I tried investing when it was much harder to do, and I did actually lose money, mainly because I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't do any research beforehand, and like I said, it was much harder to do than it is now. There are many different investment strategies. You can put your money into commodities like gold or silver, stocks and shares, ISAs, crypto, property, all of them, or maybe a combination of a few, but it all depends on you and your situation. So before you invest, I advise looking into all of the investment strategies and options you have and just trying to work out what's best for your situation. But the key thing is that you start. Because of the compounding nature of investing, the sooner you start, the more money you will make and the less you will lose whilst paying rent in your bank account. I will leave a link down below to my current favourite platform for trading stocks and shares. Freetrade makes investing really simple and easy. The reason it's my favourite app is just because the app is so easy, simple and just user friendly, and it helps you avoid the mistakes that I made when I started investing. And if you use the link in the description below, you'll get a free share worth up to £200 when you deposit more than £1 into your account. If you use the link below, I will also receive a free share at no cost to you. So if you do use the link below, thank you very much. So on to bad habit number 3, and it's as you earn more, you spend more. Now maybe you've noticed that people do this or maybe not, but a lot of people, including myself, have made the mistake of spending more as you earn more. So when you get your first job, you may buy a new phone, buy a used car, then you get a better job or a pay rise, and you move out of your parents' house and start renting a place for your own. Nothing wrong with any of this so far, but then as you continue to get pay rises or move to better paying jobs, instead of saving and investing your extra income, like in my last point, you get a brand new car, you start buying designer clothes, you get a bigger house, and each time your income increases, so does your spending by the equal amount. And this is almost exactly what I did. And once you get to that point, it's so much harder to reduce your spending than it is to increase it. Now, this habit is bad for many reasons. For one, it means no matter how much you earn, you'll never actually increase your wealth. So if for any reason your income stopped, you would have nothing to fall back on. And I'm not saying you should never increase your spending. Of course, you want to enjoy your bonuses and your extra income, but it's about recognizing when that goes too far. I believe the main reason most people fall into this habit is because that's what society tells us to do. We do it because that's what everyone else does. I will be speaking about this a bit more in a future video, but the main point here is don't make decisions, especially financial decisions, just because people and society tells you to. And just because you're earning more does not mean you need to spend more. Instead, save and invest a portion of that income in your future. Bad money habit number 4 is normalizing debt. Nowadays, debt is everywhere, and it's now the cultural norm that if you can't afford something, then you get debt to pay for it. I had this bad habit for many years and got into a lot of debt because I wanted things and bought them even though I couldn't afford them, instead of waiting and saving up the money. Now, not all debt is created equal. Not all debt is bad and not all debt is good. I think there's a big difference for debt for pleasure and debt for investment. Debt for investment would be things like investing in your education or a mortgage. Things that are a direct financial investment like property, and personal investments like education, which will increase your ability to make money in the future. But debt for pleasure is where the problem is. This is when you want something just for the pleasure that it'll bring you, like, for example, an expensive car. We buy these things mainly because we think it'll bring us joy and happiness, when in most cases it probably won't. And using debt for these types of purchases makes it even worse, because at the same time you realise that the thing hasn't brought you happiness and you're in debt. So the main point here is to get out of the habit of being comfortable in debt. Pay off your debts, and if you want something but can't afford it, save up and wait. Bad habit number 5 is having expensive hobbies, like shopping. Basically hobbies that you can't afford or are just generally bad for you. Things like shopping, going to the pub every night, binge watching TV. There are much better hobbies that you could be doing that are either free and or increase your skills and abilities. Some examples could include going for a run, drawing, learning an instrument, reading books, creative writing, the list goes on. Sometimes we all need an escape to the reality of life, I get that. But how we choose to do that can have a huge impact on our lives. Now, I'm not saying you should stop doing any expensive hobby, especially if that hobby will lead to self-improvement, like expensive sports, maybe that you love, like skiing or rowing, for example. Yes, it's expensive, but if you can afford it and you enjoy it, then go for it. But what I see a lot of people doing, instead of spending money on things they would really enjoy and that would improve their skills, many people choose to spend their money on useless things that they don't need, like expensive shoes, watches, or alcohol. Now, not only would getting out of this bad habit save you money, but it could actually help you make money further down the line. The skills you learn now could later be monetized if you wanted to. Now, I have fell into this bad habit many times. Sometimes it's hard to make that decision to invest in yourself. Maybe because at that time you don't feel like you're worth the investment. I don't know, but what I do know is that I am worth the investment, and so are you. I really hope you found some value in this video, and let me know in the comments if you've got any bad money habits that I haven't mentioned in this video. So once you've broken your bad money habits, if you really want to reach your financial goals, you need to learn some good money habits. So make sure you check out this video next, where I talk about 9 simple money habits that can have a huge impact on your life. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye for now.